in terms of line of sight, what we try to teach the students is as follows. Is you need to learn more about what's going on inside of you before you do harm to yourself and to others. And so what I try to introduce are some characteristics that I've studied now for 25 years or so of high need for achievement personalities. And part of it is McClellan, and there's other theorists involved. But here are some of these. And our students hear these lists, and they go, how did you know? Okay. You're real smart. You learned early on how to leverage that. Tomorrow, I'm sure Bob is going to talk about this achievement notion about there's a certain subset of the population, that gets up in the morning, and their goal, he calls it the interpersonal stage. They get up in the morning and they say to themselves, this will be a good day if I convince a lot of people that I have my act together. Okay? It's a challenging game to play for a number of different reasons. But, so there's achievement drive, impatience, surprise, surprise. And see, what I'm learning over and over again is that to lead is to teach. To lead is to teach. Now the question is what's your belief system around how that takes place? Whether you're Ed Schein or Chris Argyris or David Cantor, whomever. It's this notion of, do I have the capacity to be all in with another human being to have this connection? Okay. Now, the reason these are important is that since 1990, nothing has been taken off the plate of managers. It's only been additive. So in 1990, you needed to do performance evaluation, maybe. And then in 1992, it's more. So we're 28 years into this with these kinds of characteristics. They would prefer positive feedback. I would like to be able to define for myself what my role is, and please don't look over my shoulder. You better make sure that everybody gets the email when we talk about office space, or there will be a problem. And finally, and when I'm sharing these with the high need for achievement person, you can hear a pin drop. Because then what I say is the emotion that it evokes when you have too much to do is what we call ongoing guilt. Because no matter how hard you work, you'll never accomplish it all. Ever. Ever. The second concept that I want to share with you is what I say this to the students, covenants matter. Covenants matter. Now, what do I mean by that? There's a couple of different ways to define trust. One way to define trust is cognitive trust, which is whether the person you believe can do good work. You may not like him that much. Can you see that okay? You good? Sort of, kind of? Okay. Gee. Okay. Where are my notes? Nose? Okay. All right. If you need to say, I'm going to do this real fast. Okay? And then there's the other kind of covenant. There's this whole notion of affective trust. And this is what's built up over time. So this means that I show up and I'm all in. I kind of have irrational thoughts and feelings about the organization or other people. Now, what I'm interested in from an economic standpoint, does it matter? The three most important variables to have individuals feel this way about the organization. And this is what I find kind of intriguing. Number one, does this person have faith in senior management? Faith in senior management. That's number one. Number two, does somebody at work care deeply about me and my work. Now, if you look at this is where it starts to break down. Does somebody care deeply about me and my work? We won't have time tonight, but when I ask 60-year-olds, write down the name of some folks in your life who loved you more than you loved you at work, and they start to write it down, and you can start to see their eyes kind of soften. And then I ask 40-year-olds, write down. And the 40-year-olds can write maybe 2 down. Do you see where I'm going with this? And then I ask 30-year-olds, write down the names of those people that you knew were there to get you through a rough patch. And they look at me like, I don't know what you're talking about. And I'm going to be a little bit, I want to say this with love. I worry that because we're overwhelmed, we've simply created a broad brush and said, oh, those millennials, boy, don't they need a lot of help. And there has this insatiable need. And I'm suggesting to you that 30-year-olds need what the 60-year-olds got. Okay? So all I'm suggesting is I invite you to consider that.